Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov ben Abraham. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. I'm a didactic scientist and the author of the trilogy Humanomics, comprised of its central organizing principle, Receive and Give, which is the new cognitive behavioral science first principle, and the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. Okay. Christopher said, and I quote, "You have to name for me a statement made or an action performed by a religious person," that's me, "that could not have been made or uttered by a person of no faith," that's you, Chris, end quote. All right, Yehoshua answered Christopher's challenge with the following statement. And before I reveal what that statement is, I've noticed that your followers have been challenging me and say you've not answered Chris's challenge and you are wrong, and you get 1 star and you are not right, and they're all flaming, in a word. Okay, I want to point out the a priori, a posteriori distinction from an epistemological standpoint. Okay, everybody knows what a priori is, and everybody knows what a posteriori. Okay, therefore what? My answer, okay, in semantical or logical terms, distinguishes between analytic and synthetic. Your statement is strongly skewed and biased to the synthetic, and it's a bit of I don't want to accuse Christopher of intellectual dishonesty, but clearly your followers, your groupies, don't know where you're holding, where your das is, and they're being conned. And I think you got to clarify some things. Okay, you'll notice that the logic for this proposition of Yeshua's answer, and I'll repeat. Okay, the truth is the information that if it changes in finality, close parens, changing, parenthetical intention, close parens, full stop, end quote. I'll repeat it. The quote, the truth is the information that never changes, parenthetically in finality, close parens, changing, parenthetically in intentionality, close parens, full stop, end quote. Okay, this is analytic, okay, and it is a priori justified, okay. And Chris, you know what that means, don't you? Okay, very good. Therefore, I think you should help your followers to understand what that means in terms of polemics and the logic of argumentation that is proceeding here, okay? You basically are doing something in your words, in your choice of words, that is an attempt to convey and convince others by sleight of words, in your adding to the predicate concept that which amplifies its composite falsehood in subject concept, and it's never gonna hold water, Chris. And for these and other reasons, parenthetically in counterpart, your argument falls and your challenge fails, and it's been answered. And so if you can utter the statement that Yeshua's answer is, then by all means please do, and I will refute it formally and publicly. I repeat, my answer to your challenge is, quote, "You have to name for me a statement made or an action performed by a religious person," that's me, "could not have been made or uttered by a person of no faith," end quote. That's you. My answer is, quote, and I challenge you to utter it if you can. Quote, "The truth is the information that never changes, parenthetically and finally, close parens, changing, parenthetic intentionality, close parens, full stop," end quote. This is an intentional oxymoron. And why? It's to convey and compel the paradox to delimit it to dichotomy access in order for man to inhabit the quantum reality of the postmodern era, which, Christopher, you do not. Okay. So, and one last small comment. I who have read Freud know what I'm talking about. Well, Chris, you don't know what you're talking about. The collapse of the local reality confirms not only the local reality of the postmodern era, which, Christopher, you do not. Okay. So, and one last small comment. You know, I who have read Freud know what I'm talking about. Well, Chris, you don't know what you're talking about. The collapse of the local reality confirms not only the local reality of the postmodern era, which, Christopher, you do not. Okay. So, and one last the end of man and mankind's exile, and the end of the pre-modern modern era, and the ascent to the quantum reality of post-modernity, which for the religious is redemption. In particular, this event also confirms the collapse of the id, ego, superego axis of Mr. Freud's work, which Carl Jung, was always suspicious of, and he was right to do so. It's wrong, it's collapsed, and it is replaced by the paradox derivative dichotomy axis, which confirms the fundamental error in the id, ego, superego. There are really only two elements, not three. And it involves a further complexity beyond the description of this video. I thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov ben Abraham, the author of the trilogy Humanomics and its central organizing principle, Receive to Give. I live in Jerusalem, and I rest my case, Christopher. Thank you for listening. Shalom.